Are you already struggling with your 2024 resolution? If you are, I have a secret wheel that's going to help you achieve your goals. Hi, I'm Rupa Mehta. I'm a trainer, facilitator, and a success coach, having trained over 10,000 business owners, employees, and students achieve their goals and build a personal brand. The first fortnight of 2024 is officially over. It's done. And already that shine of the New Year's resolution is dulling a little bit for many of us. Now, why does this happen? There's actually research that shows that 85% of people do not follow through with their New Year's resolutions beyond the first month. So let's ensure that we do things differently so that we can follow through with our New Year's resolutions and make 2024 the best year till date. Now, before we see how we can make the resolutions last beyond the first month, let's first take a look at where we stand. After all, even the GPS asks us where we are before it can tell us where we need to go. So let's take a look at where we are right now. And the way I like to do it is with something that I've seen the Buddhist monks do. So they have something called the Wheel of Life, and this is based loosely on that. So the wheel of life that I'm looking at, or the success pie as I like to call it, is divided, is it's basically a circle. So what I want you to do now is go grab a pen and paper. Pencil will do as well. I'm going to wait right here because you will pause this now. So now that you have your pen and paper with you, draw a circle on this paper, right? So a rough circle is fine. It doesn't have to be an exact circle. Divide the circle into four parts, all right? We are going to label each of these parts. So label one of them health, then wealth, happiness, and relationship. And we are going to delve a little deeper into each of these sections before we move on. So the first section that we are looking at is health. So it could be physical health, mental health, or social health. So the first one, the physical health, most of us, I think, in some way or the other, some issue regarding our health, physical health. So it could be that somebody wants to reduce, somebody wants to increase their weight. Some of us want better toned bodies. Some of us have goals as far as reducing eating junk food. So some kind of a health goal. So what we are going to do is we will rate each of these from 0 to 10. So, for example, let's say I have a goal, health goal, a physical health goal, which is that I want to reduce weight by 10 kilos. I'm not happy with the way I look, or I want to be fitter. So, I will say, for example, that as of now, I would rate my physical fitness 5 out of 10. Okay, and we are going to do this for each of the sections. Similarly, I want you to reflect. Take a moment, reflect, where do you stand as far as physical health goes, right? So do that, put the number down there, and then we move to the next one, all right, which is mental health. Most of us are stressed today with the daily grind of life, with what we have to do, and we do have some kind of stress or the other. So, how stressed do you think you are on a mental health level? So again, rank it from 0 to 10, and it could be so many other things. There are some of us who do meditation, some of us want to do meditation. So where do you stand as far as mental health is concerned? And then the last segment that we have divided into is social health. So the third segment within the health section is social health. So what do we really mean by social health? It's our social connections. How connected are you with your friends? Many of us have this regret. Oh, I wish I could call home more often. Those of us who live away. Many of us have lost connections with our childhood friends. Sometimes I feel that there are so many more ways of connecting with people, but the connectedness doesn't exist anymore. We have more ways of talking with people, even far away, but we don't really manage to connect with them when we do reach out to them. So many of us have this regret, I would say, that we aren't really connecting with our friends, families, loved ones as much as we would want to do. So I would say I would rate myself maybe a 4 out of 10, though I should say that I have improved a lot compared to earlier. So take the time out and reflect, where do you stand on this? So we've covered the three segments within the health segment, which is the physical health, mental health, and social health. We move to the next and quite an important segment, which is the wealth. Now, wealth, we will divide further into financial stability. So, how can you gain financial stability? Where do you stand on financial stability as of now? Do you have ways of saving money? Do you budget? There are so many people I know who don't budget, they just spend the money as it comes. Where do you stand on this? Where would you rate yourself on budgeting, for example? Do you have emergency funds set aside, for example? It could be a medical emergency, could be a health emergency, could be anything like that, right? Where do you have funds set aside for this? Where would you rate yourself? So I want you to put a number on that. The next segment within wealth is career or business growth. Are you actively working towards growth in your career, or it could be a business? So what are the strategies in place for growing your business? Do you have a goal? Do you have a short term goal? Do you have a 1 year goal? Do you have a 3 year goal? Do you have a long term goal, a 5 year goal, a 10 year goal? Because when you have a goal, you can start working towards achieving those goals. And we will of course do work with this, but as of now, we just want to figure out, where are we on this? Do we even have a career goal? Do we have a business goal? What are we trying to achieve within this particular span of time? So I want you to give a number to this as well. We move to the next section, where we try to figure out if we have strategies for creating wealth. Now, what do I mean by this? So in the first segment within wealth, we saw that we're looking at budgeting, saving, and now that we have saved some money, can we use this money for actually creating wealth? So wealth can be created in many ways. You can invest it somewhere. You can do a lot of things with it, right? Do you have strategies for wealth creation as of now? So, and if yes, what are those strategies? You can tell me in the comments below, and we can talk about how can you have more revenues of creating wealth, right? So these are the three strategies within wealth, which will help you to create more of it. So the next section we have is the happiness. Now, how do we measure happiness? So one of the things that I like to do is, I think we feel happy when we are grateful. We feel happy when we say something nice about somebody. And it's not that we don't do it on a daily basis, but can we be mindful about it, right? So we are again going to divide this section into three sections like we've done the earlier ones as well. So the first segment that we are dividing happiness into is having a mindset of gratitude. So can we be grateful for what we have? Can we be grateful? Can we show that we are grateful? Can we tell people that we are grateful to have them in our lives, right? So where do you rate yourself on this? Do you really take the time to be mindful about it? Do you maybe maintain a gratitude journal? Um, do you tell people that you're happy that they are in your lives? Do you tell people that whatever they've done for you, you feel so happy about it? So practice these things. And where do you stand on this right now? So again, on that scale of 0 to 10, where do you stand on this right now? Do you need to work on it? Okay, so let's take a look at that a little further. But as of now, let's just put a number on this. The second aspect of happiness is resilience. How resilient are you? Do you have coping strategies in place? One of the things that I've seen is, many of us do not like to reach out for help. We want to do it all ourselves, and nothing wrong with that. It's excellent that you want to do everything yourself, but are you also comfortable reaching out for help? Because it's there for the asking. So how comfortable would you be if you have to reach out to somebody for help? So put that on the next segment of happiness. The third segment in happiness is leisure time. I've seen many people feel actually guilty when they take some time off. Or we are taught since we are kids to do something all the time, and we want to do things definitely. But taking time off for yourself, for your family, for your friends is just as important. And do you do that? Where would you rate yourself on this? Is it that you take the time off because you have to take it off for somebody else and you feel guilty about it? Or do you feel happy when you take the time off? Where would you rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10? Put that number on this. Yeah. With this, we've covered the segment on happiness and we move on to the next one, which is relationships. So, we are going to divide relationships into three further segments. And the first one is communication. How comfortable are you communicating with your friends, family members, and loved ones? Do you really practice active listening? Think about it. How often does it happen that your friends, family members, or a loved one has to remind you, are you still listening to me? I don't feel heard. I don't think you're giving attention to me. I think you need to pay more attention. Have you heard these sentences? If you have, then you haven't been practicing active listening at all. I want you to give this a moment and think, where do you stand as far as communication goes? Do you practice active listening? How comfortable are you discussing difficult topics with your family members? Most of us do not like confrontations and we try and avoid topics which could lead to a confrontation. However, please understand that the problem doesn't go away, it's just getting pushed a little further. So, good idea is to be comfortable, discuss these topics. It is going to be difficult, it is going to be confrontational, but if you do it the right way, you probably will end up saving the relationship rather than it getting destroyed, right? The next segment in this is about bonding. What are the steps that you take to bond with your friends and family members? Do you go out on picnics? Do you sit and watch movies together? Where do you stand on that as of now? Because bonding and any relationship takes work. However much you may be in love with your loved one, your partner, your spouse, but you need to make the relationship work and you need to work towards it. So you need to do things for the relationship to thrive and to succeed. Otherwise, the relationship remains, but is it really thriving? Where do you stand on it right now? Do you have your partner telling you that, oh, you should have done this for me, that for me, I expected this? If yes, then you definitely need to work on your relationship. So give a number to this and see where do you stand on this segment on bonding. Now we move to the next segment, nurturing diverse relationships. How comfortable are you with the diverse relationships, the changing relationships that we have with our maybe family members or with colleagues? There's a lot of change today that happens at workplace or even within the families. We have people who come into the family, there are new members getting added to the family or at work as well. How comfortable are you with them? Are you welcoming towards them? Maybe after a point you will get comfortable with them, but are you actively welcoming to these new members who come into your family or in the workspace? These are the three segments for relationship. I hope you have been giving numbers to each of these based on where you stand on these as of today. And we're definitely going to do a lot more work on this as we go along. These are the four segments of the success wheel or the success pie, as I like to call it. I'm sure these are going to be very useful for you. If it's useful, please send a comment which of these were really helpful for you and do not forget to subscribe.